Well, today I want to thank Ms. Inez Slaughter for giving me an opportunity to present our program. You're going to get a brief synopsis of where we've come from and where we're at this point in time in our program. So I hope you enjoy our presentation. Again, keeping along with the themes of the symposium and this taking initiative to create language opportunities is where the direction this presentation is headed in. The Pueblo of Isleta Department of Education was established by formal resolution through Tribal Council in the year 2000. Prior to establishment of the Department of Education, Pueblo's only education program was the Johnson OMalley program. I'm pretty sure most of us tribes are familiar with the Johnson OMalley program, which is federally funded government to assist high school students with basic needs, students seeking any other assistance such as college assistance, trade school funding. At that point in time, we all went to the Bureau of Indian Affairs Employment Assistance Office. I'm beginning to show my age here. Just as many tribes across the United States, the Pueblo of Isleta was faced with religious persecution from Spanish missionaries forced into boarding schools, forced into a way of Christianity, and forced to forget the customs and traditions. Our own native language was not allowed to be spoken at those times. I'm pretty sure a lot of the elders here can attest to some of those time frames, and where it was very, very, it was a big wrongdoing for them to speak their native language, carry on their customs and traditions, which is why the English language became such a dominant force in our way of life, putting back our customs and traditions to quote unquote carry on as the no disrespect to anybody here, but white man's way of life. Since 2000, the Department of Education has added 4 programs based on students' need. One, of course, is the Johnson OMalley program, which we continue to operate today. We also added a scholarship assistant program. With the help of Tribal Council, funding is made possible for our students seeking a higher education through scholarships. And the Adult Basic Education program, and our Tiwa language program, and Educational Assistance program, which assists high school students or other elders with any type of extracurricular activities, sports. Maybe some of our elders want to attend. Mainly, a lot of the requests we get are religious type of conferences, Kateri, Tekawitha conferences, those kinds of things. They're provided support through our program. Moving on to the language program. The language program was established in 2004 by funding made possible through the State Indian Education Office. Prior to that, the language program was a component of another program through the Pueblo of Isleta called the Parent Pride Program. Our Parent Pride Program was based out of grant funding and Pueblo of Isleta funding as well, which aided our tribal members with a traditional form of counseling, whether there were substance abuse or domestic violence or whatnot. They were assisted through this program with a traditional form of counseling, and the language program was one component that they introduced during that time to help those individuals kind of begin their retention process with the language. When the Parent Pride Program closed its doors, they separated the components of counseling and then the language. The counseling portion went to another program under the Pueblo of Isleta, the Social Services Department, and language went to education. Basically, the language program has taken an age-old concept of teaching language in the home and moving it into a classroom setting. We still try to make our language program as homely as we possibly can, because the comforts of home is where we have a tendency to retain more of our way of life. So our language program, I have currently right now 4 full-time staff member language teachers. They are all state certified under the Department of Education, Indian Education Office, and one individual that I have under contract. So Our program is designed to teach everyday conversational Tiwa language. Some cultural components, such as roles and responsibilities for man and woman, the significance of cultural life of Isleta people are taught to our students every day. That's one thing we don't want our children to forget, who we are and where we come from. Who are we as Isleta people? What is our culture? That's what we teach our kids. We stay away from the realm of religious aspects, religious teachings. Those are meant to be taught during ceremonial times, not within our program or classroom. Although curiosity sometimes do get the best of the kids, and they do come in with such questions. But we point them towards the right direction and where to ask to get their answers for their questions. Language opportunities. Here are some of the few opportunities we've taken to do our language retention for the Pueblo of Isleta. One, we've developed MOUs and MOAs with various programs and schools. We've developed community-based programs. We are now starting to use technology as a teaching and learning tool. And there are other programs that we've established joint ventures with and collaboration with, such as a JOM program. Moving into MOUs and MOAs, we've established an MOA with our Head Start program. We entered into the MOA in October of 2013. We create opportunities not just for the kids, but for those Isleta tribal members that work at our Head Start that are not fluent. And we often preach, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the tribes here do the same thing, is that consistency, hearing it day in, day out, is a key to have these students become fluent and learn their language. So the MOA with the Head Start just does not pertain to the kids. We also want to create those opportunities for those individuals or teachers wanting to learn the Tiwa language. We also want to teach positive attitudes towards speaking. The worst thing anybody can ever do is make fun of a child that's trying to speak their language. It forces them to shut down. It forces them to stop. So we strongly encourage, whether they get it right or wrong, keep trying. One of the phrases my instructors often use when working with children is, which is, don't laugh at me, don't make fun of me, I'm trying to learn my language. And we also improve the conversational Tiwa language skills with current Head Start staff, again, making that opportunity available to them, not just to the students themselves. Also have an opportunity for parents that are parents of the Head Start students to collaboratively and together with their child learn the language. So we have that opportunity available to them. Another MOU entered in with our program is with the Isleta Elementary School. That was entered in August of 2013. Now, it took our program roughly 7 years to get into our elementary school to make this opportunity happen. It was a long, drawn-out process, working with the Bureau of Indian Education, administrators changing, principals changing. They were all very supportive of our project and our idea, but for whatever reason, administrators were being changed. So 7 years later, we finally got an opportunity to enter the elementary school. And we do, like I said, we do provide the state-certified language instructor that teaches the Tiwa language to the Isleta students, or all the students there that attend the Isleta Elementary School every day. The only thing we need to work with on block of time, the times that they have scheduled are very minimal, and we want to encourage more time. So that's in the works, that's still being discussed. Another MOU we entered to in August of 2012 was the Native American Community Academy charter school located in Albuquerque, where we have quite a few Isleta students attending the school over there. And we were able to negotiate mid-school. Mid-school students can take it as an elective. High school students get earned credit towards their graduation, and it's recognized as a dual credit program through the IAIA. I'm sorry, IAIA out in Santa Fe. So students that are wanting to take our program, our class, not only get credit for graduation, but they also get college credit if they wish to attend the IAIA School of Art and Design, which is great for us. Our community-based programs. We have adult classes, beginning level, intermediate, and advanced level classes. Our classes are Monday through Thursdays, 6 to 8 p.m., and Saturdays from 9 to 11. We say 11, but sometimes they're still there at 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we've made ourselves readily available for anybody that wants to, that has a desire to learn the Tiwa language, anybody that wants to learn the Tiwa language. My instructors have made themselves, and I'm very gracious for their time, they've made themselves very flexible. They've made themselves very flexible despite their own schedules and their own families, but this is something that we've taken on that's important. And they're willing to work with any one individual, either on a one-on-one basis or within a group, because not everybody first coming on is comfortable working with a group right away. So they'll work with them one-on-one until they get comfortable enough to join a class. So I really appreciate the time that my instructors put into it. We also started an after-school program for kids ages 8 to 10 currently right now. This is our first year doing it, so it's a pilot program. We're hoping that the program becomes successful so we can expand those boundaries of that program. It's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 3:30 to 5:30. Again, just because we say 5:30, sometimes my instructor is still there at 6:30. We get every now and then we get those really enthusiastic children that just don't want to leave, and they want to stay and they want to learn, and we hate to just stop abruptly for them and tell them it's time to leave. So we make the time for them to continue until mom or dad drags them out of the classroom. We also have every year we also have a summer language camp. It's a 6-week program, and it's Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. We have these kids all day long. We provide language lessons in the morning and cultural crafts in the afternoon, depending on what kind of craft activities they have. But 90% of the time, their language lessons are in the morning. And we've reached 90-plus children in this past summer. And when I first started this summer language camp, I had 6. I had 6 kids show up, which I had to bribe with food every day, whether it was pizza or a barbecue or whatever. But that was my only guarantee that they would show up to class every single day knowing they were going to get something different to eat. Now we just got such an overwhelming response, and this program has been very successful for us. 90-plus kids. That's amazing in a 6-year period, from 6 to 90. And I have to give credit to my instructors because they do such an amazing job to make these kids want to come back summer after summer after summer. I'm sure if it was boring or if they weren't having any fun or if they weren't learning anything, I don't think they'd want to sign up. But they do every single year, and our numbers are growing, so we're going to have to expand our program somehow. Technology. We've taken an opportunity to use technology. The language program is starting to enter the realm of technology. Why? Because we have tech-savvy children. Our kids are so tech-savvy these days, and we all know this. Our kids probably know how to function through our cell phones better than we do at the ripe age of 2. They're just so tech-savvy, so let's use that. Let's use technology to our advantage. It's fun, it's innovative, it's intriguing, and it's available. We don't have to get fancy iPads, fancy equipment to use technology to make these kids to learn. A simple tape recorder. the Indigenous Language Institute offers a great class in digital storytelling, which we've taken advantage of. And it's wonderful. And it's a very simple process, very minimal equipment. Everything all the programs that they showed us are free. So it can be very affordable. So let's use technology. That's the direction our kids are headed. That's what they're learning in school. Everything nowadays is technology-based. And I know that's a whole new realm for a lot of the elders that are in here, because we take a look back over the years and look where technology has gotten us. Look at what technology has done to our people. Nobody visits anybody anymore to talk. Nobody wants to sit down and tell stories like they used to back in the days, on a cold winter night with a nice fireplace going, telling stories about what life was back in their time, their trials, their tribulations, their struggles. Nobody hears that anymore. Technology has done that to us. Technology has broken us apart. So now we got to try and use technology to unify us somehow. And I think this is one way of doing it. Some of the products we use are iPads. We're going to be developing a language application that's fit for iPads and Android-based devices, where students, whether they're adult or children, can learn some basic foundation words of our language. Along with the development of this application is not only how to say the word properly. We don't have a written language. So we base all our teachings on phonetics. What I hear versus what one of my tribal members hears could be something totally different, and the way it's spelled out is totally, totally different. And we strongly encourage our people, write what you hear. Anything that's going to help you remember that word, that phrase, that meaning, do what you got to do. We strongly encourage that. So hopefully when this language app comes out, it's something that's readily available. It's going to be free to our people, and it's something that can be available just to anybody. If you have a cell phone, we can get it on there for you. If you have an iPad, we can get it on there for you. But our focus right now is in the schools. If we can get the equipment for the schools where the kids are at, then this app will be available. It's flexible. It's flexible. Technology is flexible. It's everywhere. You have it in our homes. Simple DVD players, I won't say VCR because I don't think those exist anymore, but DVD players, Blu-ray players, those kinds of things. We all have televisions. We can make this work. Most importantly, there's age-appropriate material. You know, everybody learns at a different pace. We've got small children that we concentrate with, 3 years old and up, maybe 2 and up. So we definitely want to provide age-appropriate material. And it's a controlled content. We can control this program, this app, under our office. Without our security password, without our logging in, you can't get it. That's what I'm saying. If you have a cell phone, we can put it on there for you. It's not anything that you can go to an app store and just purchase and download it. We also have Promethean boards. I'm not sure if anybody here is familiar with Promethean. Promethean, we are the first tribe in New Mexico to purchase Promethean boards for our language classroom. And we do teach them as a learning tool. In these pictures, you can see that particular day they were learning their lessons on colors. So they have a little pen in their hand, and they have to select the right color, and they have to circle the animal or fruit that represented that color. This engages students to learn. It's interactive. It's fun for them, rather than just sitting at a desk and listening to someone talk, speak, whatever. this particular board makes students stand up and go to the front. It's interactive. It makes them participate, and that's one of our components to get our students over their fear of speaking our language. And it's fun. They have so much fun with this. They have so much fun with these boards, and the possibilities are endless. Under other, the language program has joined forces with the Johnson OMalley program and to provide Tewa language lessons and instructions during JOM family activity nights. We take every opportunity we can during those moments to have an instructor or two there to talk to the kids about what they're doing, the activity they're doing, and it's all done in our language. In this particular picture, you see a kid eating a donut off a string. That was during our Halloween activity night. So, but we take that opportunity, any opportunity we have available, we want to make sure we have someone there. Future plans of our program. One is to increase our language staff. Right now, as I mentioned before, we have 4 full-time staff on 1 contract. Even with that, we are spread thin. We're in 3 or 4 major schools, Monday through Friday, usually 8 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. And they come back and get prepared for their community-based programmings. So it really stretches us thin. So hopefully we can get additional staff on board in future years to come, next year, 2 years, whatever the case may be. Expand our language program to surrounding school districts, Los Lunas, Albuquerque Public Schools. We've had an opportunity, when I first came on board, we went knocking on the Los Lunas School District doors and asked, hey, we have this program, and we'd like to provide this opportunity for our Isleta students, if you guys will allow us to do it. We were basically told no, because if we're going to offer it to students, we have to offer it to anybody attending their schools at Los Lunas. And that was one of the things we said no to. We want it designed specifically just for our Isleta students. So we were told no. Well, here we are 5 years down the road. This past spring semester, Los Lunas school districts came knocking on our doors. Hey, will you do this for your Isleta students? We've heard the students speak. We know what they want. They want their own language to be taught in the schools where they can get their credit. You know, the unfortunate thing is I didn't have the staff at the time to make that happen, so hopefully we can make something happen this the next school year. But it was so nice to hear them come ask us, can you do this for us? Can you do this for your kids? We definitely want to incorporate more elders within our program to preserve some of the storytelling. As I mentioned earlier, the days of visiting neighbors, telling stories, those days are long gone. So how can we preserve that as well? Some of the stories that we have, some of the stories we've had our elders tell us back even when I was a child, you don't hear anymore. Some of the fairy tales, the icebreakers, as I like to call them, a story that just lifted the heart, made everybody laugh, put a smile on your face at the end of the day, and leave there with a good feeling. Those types of stories. We want to continue those. We want those to live on. We want to develop a traditional crafts curriculum, bring back such crafts such as weaving, quilt making, moccasin making, sewing, drum making, pottery. We have a lot of gifted people in our community that have these talents, that possess these skills. How can we bring them on board as a part of our program, all while talking our language? Not only do they learn something new, they learn their language as well. Not only do they pick up a new skill, a new craft, they learn their language while doing it. And it's fun. And it's fun to do. I know some people that make good money doing these kinds of things. We have a lot of gifted and talented people in our community, a lot of nice potters, make beautiful pieces of work. We also want to continue the use of technology. Maybe someday we can develop a web page where we can store maybe some of our video lessons. Maybe do some distance learning. We had a request from Santa Fe Indian School, see if we can make something happen for the Isleta students that attend there. It's a possibility. It's something that's in the works. We need to continue discussions on that idea, but it's going to be a distant learning kind of venture. Create audio books. The digital storytelling, as mentioned, the skills that my instructors have learned through the workshop through Indigenous Language Institute. Listening and learning centers maybe in our education building, our library, even in our classrooms, where students that are kind of shy and don't want to be in a classroom can sit and listen and still learn. And of course, we want to continue coordination and collaboration with other pueblos, tribes, institutions, and government agencies to collectively better the language revitalization, intention, and retentions of our native languages. I've had the opportunity to work with an amazing group of people from various tribes and various projects through the Indian Education Office. And there are some present here today. And it's amazing the amount of work and time these people put in to make revitalization and retention possible, not only for their community, but other communities as well. I do believe that's it. If you have any questions, you can meet me over here at the networking center station table later on. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. But again, I hope you enjoyed our presentation. Thank you.